What's good, YouTube? It's your boy King back up in this thing. We back at it like crack addicts. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. And so in today's video, man, so pretty much shout outs for real, just pray for everybody in Maui, man. It's just a really wild time to be alive, man. It's really crazy. And the situation is very disappointing. But they pretty much discovered underground tunnels in the Maui Massacre, which is wild. So we're just gonna get right into it.
Sadly, the media has moved on from the Maui Massacre, but you and I, we're still on it. 1 month has passed since the fire, and have any of you seen video of a parent or of those who've lost their family? Why is this not all over the news? Are we witnessing the greatest suppression of information ever? Is this not strange? There could be over 1,000 children missing or more, and yet we're not seeing or hearing anything still to this day? Something is not right. Something like hazardous waste being removed by the EPA from Lahaina and being transported to the gun range.
I'm here at the Ukumehame gun range where the US EPA is starting to bring hazardous waste from the Lahaina burn zone here. It's coming in from trucks and then put into these 55-gallon drums. Now, there are teams of about 80 people from the US EPA wearing white Tyvek suits. It is hot. They're in those respirators. It's very difficult work. This is the first step for cleanup before people can be allowed back into their homes. This process is expected to last several weeks to several months. Then the hazardous waste is shipped to the mainland. Now, along with removing the hazardous waste, the US EPA says it does have cultural monitors to make sure that the operation in Lahaina is as sensitive as possible.
Blue 55-gallon drums being moved. Nothing to see here, right? Let's not forget when the EPA told us that Roundup was less toxic than coffee. Let's also remember that the same chemicals that spilled during the train derailments are the same ones now being found in Maui. Volunteers are now helping to go through the remains of victims' property.
Volunteers are from an organization called Samaritan's Purse, a relief organization that's part of the Billy Graham Ministries. They're literally sifting through handfuls of ash where the owners believe some kind of precious item can be found before the area is sprayed with a sealant for safety and hazardous waste control.
Once they apply that, you would no longer be able to sift or to do anything on that property.
The American people are on the search for answers, and in their quest for the truth, they're discovering many things that seem unusual.
This is a video that shows tunnels and walkways, stairwells under Maui. Questions have been coming up about missing people, specifically missing children. This would be a great way to move people around without anyone seeing. But that's not the intention of me sharing this video. Although that could be a potential, I hope and pray that that is not the case and that missing children are found.
And this.
I don't think people understand how much property Oprah actually owns on the island of Maui. You look up pictures of the house and this is what you see.
Oh snap, this is not good for Oprah, man. With as much going on in the world with Oprah and stuff like that, like, and especially the movie The Sound of Freedom coming out, man. Oh man. Not good at all on her. But I mean, everybody knows Oprah is into some stuff, man. So yeah, this ain't the first time.
You see her house, a mansion with her guest house is also a mansion. But this doesn't tell the full story. Zoomed out on Google Earth, she has this exact division of property, almost 1,000 acres that she owns solely. One person owns this much property on someone else's sacred land. Wow. Nobody needs that. Her property has its own private road that only a few people can use. So when you go and you look at pictures of Oprah's house on Maui and you only see stuff like this, just know that's not her property. She owns 1,000 times more than what you're seeing. She bought all that property somehow for $6.6 million. If you go and you estimate the value of all that acreage now in Maui, it's over $300 million. So basically, she could sell a third of that land back to the people of Maui at full market price, which is still evil, and use that $100 million to give it back to the people of Maui. No one person needs that much property of any island. It's ridiculous.
And this.
We were so concerned about what was happening in Maui.
You're so concerned about what's happening in Maui that you somehow managed to hire a private firefighting team to protect your land before the fire started. You're so concerned about what's happening in Maui that instead of taking some of that land and housing even a small portion of those displaced people, you've hired a private security team to keep them off your land. You're so concerned about Maui that you simply haven't had time to denounce any of the shady real estate deals which are robbing people of everything they have. You know, like the ones you were involved in that helped you acquire that land for pennies on the dollar of what it was actually worth. You're so concerned about Maui that instead of taking what would amount to a year's salary for you and 4 or 5 of your billionaire friends, which could be used to rebuild the entire place in a matter of months, you're jumping on social media and asking the American public, most of whom can't afford to pay their rent right now, to do it for you. You're so concerned about Maui that it's more important that you get social media points than that you help.
Maui Police Chief John Pelletier is the first non-Hawaiian to lead the police force. As per John's LinkedIn page, he graduated from the FBI National Academy. He's going to use that FBI training to carefully craft his responses when dealing with the Hawaii State Attorney General's third-party investigation that is underway.
Tonight, some of the key agencies responding to the deadly Lahaina wildfire are pledging cooperation with the State Attorney General's third-party investigation, but legal experts say for now it's all voluntary.
Well, Steph, H&N Investigates asked several agencies if their leaders would agree to be interviewed by the independent investigators. Maui Mayor Rick Bisson's office didn't respond, and so far only one leader answered our question specifically.
You aren't under a court order to compel you to say anything or to speak to anyone. It's totally, at this point, voluntary.
H&N Investigates asked the major players of the Lahaina wildfire response if they'll be interviewed by the third-party investigators. They didn't answer specifically if their leaders would be interviewed.
This is not looking good,
Speaking
man.
of the FBI, they have now released a verified list of the unaccounted people from the Maui fire.
The FBI says there are 385 people reported unaccounted for after the Lahaina wildfire, that is. It's about the same number as the first list, but most of the names are now different. The county says since the original list came out, 245 people were found safe, but 242 new names have been added. These are verified, real people with a confirmed first and last name and a contact number from the person who reported them missing.
Oh, hey, good morning. Y'all awake? Listen to the man.
We're working 24/7. Here in Florida and throughout the Southwest, Southeast, and in Maui, in Hawaii. I want to reiterate that appreciation today. I also convened my entire cabinet as part of a whole of government response. And that response is to increase the number and intensity of the extreme weather events and be wary we're going to use all the resources available to the government to do it.
If you think weather modification is yet another conspiracy, you may be in for a shock after hearing this.
So instead of controlling the narrative, we can just control the weather. Theoretical physicist Dr. Michio Kaku joins me now. So, Doctor, has the U.S. government been experimenting with weather control?
Believe it or not, the answer is yes. Well, as Mark Twain said, everyone complains about the weather, but no one ever does anything about it. Well, the government takes exception to that.
Then there's also the mystery of the cargo helicopters being spotted in the middle of the air during the Maui fires.
I found the video of the cargo helicopters in Maui during the time of the fire. Check this out. They can hold up to 55 passengers. Now, I want you guys to look at this. I'm going to show you the picture for comparison. But this was going on when they say no one was flying and no one was in the air. There were helicopters, and this looks exactly like a cargo helicopter, military. Take a good look. Let's do the comparison. Of course, there's different models that they make to carry certain things. But what do you think was really going on, guys? And where are all those people who are missing and all the children who are missing right now?
Nick Sorter said, "Hey, senators and congressmen, you've had literally the past 5 weeks off work. How about getting back to work and sending real relief aid to Maui now? Ukraine can wait." After hearing another $1 billion was just sent across the world over to Ukraine, people are starting to do the math. Wall Street Apes tweeted, "The amount of money the Joe Biden administration authorized for Ukraine yesterday could have given $140,119.76 to each of the Lahaina, Maui, Hawaii victims. But of course, it's going to Ukraine. Build back better." Mitch McConnell actually said that Joe Biden has been too slow slow in giving more aid to Ukraine.
The president has, I think, been too slow to keep the commitments that he's made publicly, but at least he's supporting the effort. I think he could have done it more skillfully, but he is supporting the effort, and I intend to continue to support it, and I hope the majority of my colleagues will feel the same way.
White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said it was actually planned for Joe Biden to leave the Medal of Honor ceremony before it was over.
And he left as planned, as it was planned. He left when there was a pause in the program in order to minimize his close contact with attendees who are about to participate in a reception. And as you all reported that, noticed that he left when there was a pause in the program, because again, he wanted to minimize certainly his impact on folks who were there.
Hello, everybody. I'm explaining to the press. I've been tested again today. I'm clear across the board. But they keep telling me because this has to be 10 days or something, I got to keep wearing it, but don't tell them I didn't have it on when I walked in.
They feel the need to attack because they're scared that we will win based on the merit of the work that Joe Biden and I and our administration has done.
We're going to end today's video right there. Please give this video a like if you feel I earned it. If you're returning back to the channel, please double check and make sure you're subscribed. If not, resubscribe, and that's just the nature of the beast these days. As always, I truly do appreciate your continued support by watching these videos, and I hope to catch you on the next one. Please take care.
Wow. Yeah, well, there you have it, guys. That is insane. Oh my gosh. Like, oh man, the amount of stuff they covered in this was just crazy. Yo. I tell you, it's pretty wild to say missing. I can't say it because you know how YouTube is. Like, the video can say it, but I gotta be cautious in my words on here. But yo, man, I freaking tell you, it's like every day gets more chaotic. You know what I mean? And especially with the economy right now, it's just wild. And you see a lot of people hurting, and to go through such a crazy event like that is like, man, like, yo, they could really use the support. They could use the money that, you know, is going to like Ukraine and stuff, which is pretty wild to me. But yo, man, comment down below what you guys think, man. Like, what are your thoughts on this whole thing? Let me know where you guys are, you know, where you guys heads are at and everything regarding this whole topic and subject and stuff. And let me know some more stuff you guys would like to see, man. Let me know if you guys would like to continue seeing this comment, and make sure to smash that like button, because that just keeps this video in the algorithm and helps more people to see it. So I greatly appreciate that, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.